Coming up, Zoe Ball's got the Countryfile and One Show presenter Matt Baker in her clutches.
Away. So who's on the way this morning? Matt Baker on his way to see us. Helen, today's guest, Matt Baker, presented which long-running children's TV show for 6 years? Matt Baker, children's TV show.
Blue Peter?
That's it. Matt Baker has just come in. He's in a pair of shorts. He's looking you've got a very healthy glow about you, sir.
That's 3 weeks off, you see, and being in the field.
Can I say how much I missed the One Show so much?
Oh,
it's kind of like my bedtime viewing. I don't watch the One Show and then listen to Joe Wiley and then I'm supposed to go to bed, which often doesn't happen. And when you're not there, I was like, they can't be off for 6 weeks like the schools. I won't be able to cope. It's how I know about what's going on in the world, Matt.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
It is good to know. Anyway, you're back on, so that's okay. And
Yes.
we're going to talk to Matt about Countryfile Live after this. Okay, he is the custodian of the One Show red sofa. He is a rickshaw rider extraordinaire. I complain about doing it once. He does it every year. Former Blue Peter presenter and rambler of our British landscapes on Countryfile. Now, next month, he's taking to the stage for Countryfile Live as it returns to the spectacular grounds of Blenheim Palace and new for 2019, Castle Howard. Good morning, Matt Baker.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I don't know how you get it all in. You do so much. It's very exciting being you, and plus looking after your own farm as well.
I know, yeah, it's a busy life. To be honest with you, it kind of looks busier on telly than it is in reality because
Really?
it's just, I think it's all about scheduling and getting it in there. So I spend my morning, obviously, with my animals and what have you, and then I can come in the afternoon and get my head around who we're going to be meeting this evening. For example, Will.i.am got Pixie Lot on tonight.
On the One Show tonight,
on the
brilliant.
One Show tonight. So, yeah, but actually, do you know what? Thursdays is a random day for me because tonight I will go off to Countryfile after the show.
And that could take you anywhere each week. Where are you going tonight?
Well, I'm off to Perthshire, so I'll jump on a weird... I mean, this sounds so showbiz. It's so like a world away from the countryside and Countryfile, but I'll jump on a motorbike after the One Show and go off to the airport and then fly up to Edinburgh, and then I'll then drive for about an hour and a half into the middle of nowhere and then get up with the larks first thing in the morning and film Countryfile all day Friday.
Non-stop. But do you know what my mum always says to me? If you weren't doing anything, you'd be bored out your mind. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Countryfile Live is back for another year. It looks bigger than ever. What can people expect?
Yeah, well, it starts Thursday. So, Blenheim Palace, we're there. This is now our 4th year. And, it's just a big old celebration of our British countryside. Yeah. And it's exciting because we're going up to Castle Howard as well later on in August, 14th to the 18th.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-day show of everything you kind of see on Countryfile. And it's a chance for all of us to get to meet all of our wonderful viewers as well. So we're obviously going to be there talking about our lives and all the wonderful things that we get up to through the year. But it's about interaction and it's about giving people the opportunity to have a go at some of the stuff that they see us doing. So there's big lakes down there where you can get kayak and you can get the whole family can get into a raft or a Canadian canoe or something like that, paddling around, which is wonderful.
Sounds amazing.
It is. The woodlands there where you can get up close and personal to all this wonderful wildlife that's there as well. And we've obviously got animals there for you to go and experience and get close to.
I'm imagining there's some fine food there as well.
Food is a big theme, Zoe.
Yes,
all
always.
Wonderful local producers as well as entertainment. We've got this lovely little like a little pub vibe going on where you can go and eat loads of wonderful exotic foods and then you can sit and listen to local musicians, singer-songwriters and all of that, tinkling away on the ivories while you're doing that. But there's a lot of people that turn up. Bring your dogs. It's a magic.
Yeah,
it's a
bring
magic.
All the animals.
Yeah, you can
bring
camp
all
there
the
as well.
Family.
Camp there too.
Excellent. And you're not interviewing your co-presenters on the main stage. You actually get a chance to experience I love it. It's called the main stage, MANE, like
as in horses. Yeah.
Isn't that? It's a very clever little thing. And you spend so much time of your job interviewing others. I mean, that's a great thing on the One Show. One day you've got Mel Brooks, then you've got Tom Hanks, and then you've got somebody who's invented a new cheese.
That's right.
It's just
well, we had
so
Stanley
brilliant.
Johnson last night. We didn't realise we were going to get him, and then in the afternoon he was like, "Yeah, I'll come on. I love the One Show. I'll come on." And so we ended up getting his first kind of interview.
His first interview about his son and his new role. I mean, it's quite mad, that, isn't it, when your son becomes Prime Minister? My goodness me. So how are you when people interview you? Does it
Do you know, I was only sitting outside thinking this is going to be really odd because I've really got no idea what Zoe's going to ask and want to talk about and stuff.
We have got a little surprise for you.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
excellent.
More about that in the moment as well. Are you a bit accident prone? I hear you got a bit soggy on a photo shoot recently.
Oh, that was the Castle Howard shoot. Yeah. Well, so I was in a canoe with Steve Brown and Ellie Harrison was up on a paddleboard and then the photographer was like, "I tell you what, why don't you just like flick some water and just spray Ellie? It'll be really good good fun, and the shot looked magic. So we started doing it, and then obviously got a little bit more frantic, and then Steve just dug his all right in, and we just went straight over the side. So we ended up swimming around in the fountain at Castle Howard.
Beautiful. Is that allowed? Strictly allowed?
No, well, for some reason the photos haven't been released, and I think that's exactly why. But yeah, it was. Do you know what? It was quite funny. It was a hot day, and actually on a day like today, I'm sure people will be jumping in on sorts of fountains.
Yeah, I know. I think any water that you can find, any puddles, anything to keep cool. We've got a little special surprise for you after we play Jack Zeveretti and Mika, Youth and Love. Oh, you're up for anything.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully you've never done this before. So Matt Baker's quite liking that Jack Zeveretti and Mika track. You've not heard that before. Matt, we must talk about the animals at the moment, because for farmers, a lot of people, we had a really lovely lady on earlier on who was talking about putting sun cream on her 38 pigs because they need sun cream. Yeah. How are the animals coping in this extreme heat? We sort of moan as humans, but how the animals do?
I mean, obviously they're finding lots of shade at the moment, certainly our sheep. When I went home last night after the one show and went out just to check and see how everything was, that's the time when they're all grazing, really early morning. Before I left this morning, they were out having a little munch, and then they'll spend the day under the trees or just finding shelter close to barns and stuff like that. But it is tricky. So, I mean, even cutting hay and stuff like that, you would think, wow, it's blistering, it's beautiful hay-making time. But actually it's tricky because you need kind of a 5-day period of dryness, then you're getting all these storms and suddenly everything's soaking wet, it's got to dry out again. So it's just finding that right window to go, and combining's going to be starting very soon as well. Exactly the same story there. So it's quite tricky at the moment.
Yeah, it's playing havoc for all you farmers. Yeah. Okay, we've got a little something for you to do right now.
That sounds ominous.
I know, you must hear this all the time. A little surprise for you, just like they do to you all the time on The One Show. When Britain, here we are, bracing itself for what could be the hottest day ever on record, on the theme of heat. You may or may not know this, people, that Matt started out his showbiz career in the nightclubs of Cleethorpes, Barnsley and Wakefield.
Hang on.
In a disco dancing group called Disco Inferno.
I did.
How have I lived my life this long and not known this about you?
Fantastic time. Go on,
this is hilarious. So we thought we would put you under the heat of the dance floor spotlight to play our Disco Inferno quiz.
I'm happy about this.
Oh, here we go. So, who had the disco hit? Your question number one, Matt Baker. Who had the disco hit, I Will Survive?
That would be... Is that Gloria Gaynor?
It is Gloria Gaynor. Congratulations. What was your character name? This shocked me this morning. What was your character name in your disco dancing group, Disco Inferno?
Well, I was Butch Vendor, the bartender. And I was kind of an acrobatic bartender. So, you know, Cocktail, where Tom Cruise was juggling.
I love
so
that
my
film.
dad is a brilliant woodworker, right? And I do a bit of juggling and all that sort of stuff. And he made me some wooden bottles that looked like real bottles. So what I would do is I'd juggle away with these wooden ones, and then I'd pull up the real one up and then pour the drink. Then I'd go and do some backflips and somersaults, and then go back behind the bar and carry on.
Is there footage of this? I need to see. Okay,
Hopefully not.
2 for 2 so far. If you haven't, get in touch with the show immediately. It's important. 88 291. Question number 3, Matt Baker. What's the name of the legendary New York nightclub that became the emblematic hotspot of 70s disco nightlife?
That would be Studio 54.
I think you are absolutely correct. Question 4. Novelty single Disco Duck reached number 6 in the UK in 1976, but in 2016, what did Blenheim Palace introduce for ducks for Countryfile Live?
I don't know. I'm going to go with. Were they doing sheepdog trialing?
Sheepdog trialings? No, it was actually a duck director, like a lollipop person for ducks, to help escort the birds that live on the ponds on the estate safely across the roads over the course of the show.
Well, I wasn't aware of that.
I know. These are, I told you this was random. Now, we all love to get down on the disco dance floor, but which of these is the correct whistle command to signal get down or lie down to a sheepdog?
Okay.
I need you to have a little listen here, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, is it A? Is it B?
Go on. Do you want to give me some more options?
And is it C?
I'm going for B.
It is. You're absolutely right. That was one for lie down.
Well done.
The first one was walk on, get up, and what was the third one there?
It depends, really. It could either be come by or away, depending on the dog, really. But it basically come by is when the dog runs in a clockwise direction, and away is anti-clockwise.
Fantastic work. Matt Baker, brilliantly there. Or shall we just call you Butch Vendor, the
Yes,
LA
please.
bartender, for how you will be known forevermore on this show. Matt, thank you so much for
My
coming
pleasure.
to see us. And let's not forget, people, Countryfile Live takes place at Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire from the 1st to the 4th of August, and Castle Howard, North Yorkshire, 15th to the 18th of August. And you can get tickets at countryfilelive.com. And don't forget to watch The One Show tonight. Matt Baker, always
Come and see
a
us.
treat to see you. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you.
It's Jules.